am never getting married.
Never.
Guaranteed.
You picked a beautiful ring.
Thank you. We're never having kids.
I love it here.
We are never moving to the suburbs. We are never getting one of those. We're never having another kid.
I'm pregnant.
I'm never letting go.
For all the nevers in life, talk to State Farm agent Michelle Rudolph or Marty Size in Albuquerque.
Folks, there's no other way but to be all in. Either he's Lord of all or he is not Lord at all. And you can experience the real and authentic, true life change that only God can provide to humanity. See, when we truly encounter Jesus and purpose to know him and follow his teachings, hashtag life change will occur.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili, breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
The Barley Room, proud sponsor of Proview Networks for over 9 years, is pleased to introduce Black Iron Catering. From weddings and family reunions to birthdays and office parties, Black Iron Catering is perfect for any event. Contact Jamie at 505-459-8259 and book your event today. Black Iron Catering. Let us bring our kitchen to you.
Garden Sort's Team Sales is a proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
Get into the game. Garden Schwartz Team Sales features fine products and apparel from Wilson, Schutt Sports, Speedline, and Russell Athletics. We offer custom embroidery and screen printing services for all of your school or club needs, from team uniforms to school letter jackets. Specializing in all sports and serving all communities, from big schools to small schools, from up north to down south, or all points in between. Garden Schwartz Team Sales. For great prices, friendly staff, and quality products, call Garden Schwartz Team Sales today at 1-800-880-7767. That's 1-800-880-7767. Since 1939, Garden Schwartz Team Sales is a proud supporter of New Mexico youth athletics.
Welcome to Red Menace TV here on Proview Networks. Leroy Lucero along with Michael Carlisle of 610D Sports Animal fame. Fame, right?
Sure.
Award-winning radio. Still,
sure.
you still have the trophy?
Oh yeah.
Does that? So they do that award every year, do they not?
I believe they do. Yes.
Okay. Do you have to is it like a traveling trophy? You have to give it up? Or?
No. It's yours to keep.
Is it like the Stanley Cup trophy where you could do whatever you want with it?
Well, it's yours to keep, so yeah, you can do whatever you want with it.
I think it would be cool if it was traveling and you'd like put your name on it, or there'd be great stories. I mean, media guys are so cool.
Well, your name's on it.
Oh, your name's on it.
Well, my name's on it, yeah.
Yeah, but it's on the little placard or on the cup?
On the little placard. It's not a cup. It's like a nice crystal trophy thing.
Like a crystal vase?
No.
Oh. Is it like a crystal microphone?
No.
No?
It's just like a square.
It's like a square?
Yeah.
Okay. Not like a diamond square? No,
it's a square.
Okay, cool. Nice. Well, congratulations. Of course, I listen every day when I can, Mondays through Fridays, 3 o'clock to 7 o'clock. That's a good haul, right? 4 hours?
Sure.
You and Michael Trujillo going at it back and forth. A lot of NBA talk the past few days.
A lot of NBA talk right now, a lot of NHL talk, of course. And you know, baseball season's heating up. You're past the 50-game mark, so you know, for people who say, "Oh, baseball season's too long, I can't get into it," you're starting to get to that point where people start to pay attention.
Because it's not as long now.
Right.
There's
because you're already 50
what,
games
70
in.
games left?
Oh, no, there's still 100 games left.
Oh,
but,
okay.
you know, it's... I hear you.
Yeah.
No, then there are others, wake me up when the playoffs start. I got you.
But you know what? NBA's become that way, so has NHL.
Yeah,
so let's not act like this is and the NFL is really working hard on trying to make that happen. And talking to Coach Davey, it almost seems like college football's starting to spread out too, where it's becoming as really we're in June. College football
early
starts at July.
July? Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So that's what Brian Despain told us. It starts in late July. So they're starting to spread out the thing too. Speaking of spreading out, I heard last night was a 50-cent hot dog night.
At the Isotopes, yeah. Isotopes won 9-6. Yeah, I went out and
Isotopes won 9-6. How many hot dogs were slain last night? Have they said?
I beat the hot dog 7-0. I don't know the exact number. It was over 25,000 though. And yeah, I did
25,000. So are these like So when I was a kid, I don't know if they still make them. They used to make these little Coronado weenies, and they looked like they were just full of sawdust.
No.
And the bun would like mold upon it.
These are the legit regular sized hot dogs.
Like real hot dogs?
That they sell every other night at the ballpark.
And you said you slew how many?
7.
7 hot dogs over 9 innings.
Yeah, you spread it out.
Yeah.
I didn't just sit down and woof down 7.
So like when people go, now when I was a kid, I remember going. We used to go all the time. To that, and I think they used to have, was it $1 beer night or 50-cent beer night? I can't remember exactly what it was. Anyway, and guys would have like big trays, and it'd be like with their family, right? They'd have a family of like four. There'd be like one drink and like 40 hot dogs, and they're like trying to juggle it.
There was one guy right across the aisle from us, and if he went up once to get hot dogs, he went up 6 times.
Wow.
And there's a 6 hot dog limit each time.
Oh, there is?
So, but you can go as many times as you want.
Oh, I see.
You can only get 6 at a time. And he just had his hot dogs in the seat beside him laid out in a row. And he's just sitting there eating his hot dog. He'd go through the 6, he'd get up and go 6. Well, regular sized guy. But that guy must have eaten.
So he had it down to
35
science.
or 40
he
hot
had
dogs.
it like.
Oh yeah, he had them all perfectly laid out, to suit his reach, and he had his drink in front of him, and it was. So for watching him consume hot dogs, dude, was a thing of beauty.
Nice. So what for Michael Carlisle is considered the perfect hot dog? What do you put in your hot dog?
Depends on the mood. And we talked about this on the show yesterday.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah.
Must have been when I was in class because I missed that.
Could have been. Some people say, oh, it's mustard only. You can't put ketchup on a hot dog.
Yeah.
Bull. Don't try to be snobbish when it comes to hot dogs.
Okay.
Because if you're eating hot dogs, let's face it, you're not a snob.
Right.
But it depends on the moods. Sometimes it's, chili. Sometimes it's mustard and ketchup.
Okay.
Sometimes it's sauerkraut. I just went mustard ketchup last night because it's easy.
Okay. So for me, the hot dog is, and I can't eat them right now because I'm ill and everything.
Sure.
But I like the hot dog on the bun. I like the 2 packages of mustard, one on each side. So that way you get the full mustard.
Sure.
Then I put the onions.
Oh yeah.
I love the onions.
Sure.
And I've gotten into relish. I didn't eat relish before when I was a kid, but I guess my tastes have changed. But I like to put the relish.
Funny how you eat things as an adult you wouldn't touch as a kid.
Yeah, right.
Like relish. I was the same way with sauerkraut.
Okay.
Love sauerkraut on a dog or on a brat or something.
Okay.
Now. But back in the day, you're like, ooh, sauerkraut.
These are nasty. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So that to me is a perfect dog, and I miss them. I mean, I would have gone to 50-cent hot dog line because I go to C&M and it's right down the street. As soon as I walked out, I heard the roar of the crowd.
You could probably smell the
I could smell the hot dog. But that's
and
what's scary is I can't eat hot dogs, so that would be like temptation.
Yeah.
Do they have like 50-cent hamburger night?
I don't think so.
No, they don't have that one, huh? They do have a lot of good food there. I remember. And I listened to your show at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, real quick, when we're out at the ballpark, when we do our show live on Fridays out there, we're right across from this booth where they serve the Johnsonville brats. Oh. And about 5:15 or so in the afternoon, they throw the big flat top grill. They throw the sauerkraut on there.
Really?
And that smell is, even if you don't like sauerkraut, that's a good smell. Then they get the sauerkraut off. They throw the peppers and onions on there. Then they start throwing, when they're done with those, they pull those out. They start throwing the brats on there. The aromas you get just sitting there, it's like, this is crazy.
So do any of the millions and millions of Michael Carlisle fans bring you a Johnsonville brat?
No.
Could someone bring this man a brat? I mean, he's putting on radio for you.
I'm wasting away.
He's doing
for crying out
TV.
loud.
He's wasting away. He could only eat 7 hot dogs. Bring him a brat, for goodness sakes. Friday afternoons. You're there every Friday, right? When they're
when they're home. Yeah. It's a couple of weeks.
Well, it would kind of be kind of silly to go there if they're not there. It's like, hey, we're here at the empty ballpark. This is great.
Real quick, nice plug for the Topes. I believe the next Friday they're at home is June 16th, which is when they.
Is that fireworks night?
I think they're doing fireworks tonight, but that's the night they become for one night only the Albuquerque green chili cheeseburger.
Oh. But they are selling the hats and the gear, right?
Yeah, they've been selling that stuff in the pro shop for a while now. It was some sharp looking stuff.
Yeah. I've seen my nephew got one of the hats. It's kind of interesting. I don't know. It's a good thing to do in Albuquerque. There's not a lot to do, so why not catch an evening Topes game? And if they do have 50-cent hot dog night, you could be one of those guys. I mean, you could probably buy enough hot dogs to make like a sign that they could see in the sky, "Help me," something like that.
But wouldn't you want to eat the hot dogs instead?
Well, you can just leave the wrapper, I guess. So like I said, they used to have dollar beer night. This is when it was Duke Stadium. And one time we were kids, and we started collecting the cups and making snakes and walking across. I was probably like 10, 11. So we made this huge snake. I mean, it was like 20 kids carrying this snake of cups.
You see, kids back in the day. As a child, you had to use your imagination.
Yeah, exactly, right.
You didn't have the video games.
We didn't have cell phones.
You didn't have your Pokemon.
No.
You had used cups.
So it was great, because as we're doing this, of course, everyone's like, oh, slamming beers. Here you go, kid. Put that on there, So but some of the people, as the stands go up, there was the main concourse. It's a little different. Were you here when the old stadium? So you had the bottom tier, and then you had the top tier in the main concourse.
Right.
So we were walking around. Well, people on the top, they weren't going to slam their beer and go all the way down. So they would slam their beer, some as best they could, and then throw the cups for us to play with. Well, some of those cups, they weren't empty. I went home smelling like a brewery that evening, and I'm pretty sure I got a buzz of some sort.
This story just took a tragic turn here at the end.
It was awesome.
It was all great and all, and then
just beer thrown all over. I mean, 11-year-old kid.
You probably should have left that part out.
Yeah, that part was probably gross. Anyways, why don't we take a quick break?
Sure.
We got a lot to talk about today. Obviously, since last we met, I'll use like that old Batman thing. Since last we tuned in.
Pow.
Yeah, exactly. Paul Krebs kind of got a pow. We'll see if he gets a zap.
Oh, no, he retired all on his own.
Yeah, well, we'll see if he gets a zap or a kaboom to go with that pow. Or nice. A clank. I'm not sure. I don't think so, but we'll discuss that. Sure. Also, Janice Ruggiero was named interim athletic director. A few names have started to surface, and I wanted to talk to you about that. Also receiving a pow since last week was the Lobo baseball team, as they fell at the Mountain West Conference tournament hosted here in Albuquerque, as seen here on Proview Networks. So we could talk a little bit about that. And I wanted to ask you, and we'll save this for after we have Mike on. Has baseball finally come to a point in Albuquerque or at UNM where it's relevant? Where it's not.
We can talk about that, yeah.
And the reason I'm saying relevant is because we talk about football and basketball and women's basketball. Has baseball kind of gotten at the back end of that as opposed to just being another one of those Olympic sports? Why don't we take a quick break? We'll be back right after this on Red Menace TV.
Hoops New Mexico Basketball Courts is coming to Albuquerque soon. 10. Hoops New Mexico basketball courts is coming to Albuquerque soon. 10 full basketball courts and a whole lot more. For more information, contact Dan Serrano at hoopsnm@aybl.com.
Don't forget, every Proview Network sporting event is on sale at our DVD store. Go to www.proviewnetworks.com to buy your DVD today.
Terry Cosper Insurance Agency is a proud partner with Proview Networks and a proud supporter of New Mexico high school athletics. Terry's been a local farmer's agent for over 20 years for auto, home, life, and business insurance. Just like high school sports are important, so are teen drivers. For more information, call Terry or one of his licensed staff members at 898-5556. Quotes are available for you.
Altitude Sports Grill is where Albuquerque's sports fans won't miss a game. With locally crafted brews on tap and refreshingly crisp cocktails. Located in Hotel Cascada, Albuquerque residents find a staycation worth staying for. Catching Lobo sports, enjoying a beer on the beach, or wiping out, Hotel Cascada is home to your urban adventure. Affordable guest rooms, no-hassle water park parties, and much more.
Car Crafters, proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
No! Bad dog!
Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened? Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters, it's like it never happened.
Hey Lobo fans, I'm Sarah.
And I'm Samantha.
Jaguar Land Rover Albuquerque has been a family-owned business since 1988. The 2017 Jaguar F-Pace has been named the winner of the 2017 World Car of the Year and World Car Design of the Year.
Land Rover's signature terrain response system is flawless against any curveball New Mexico weather can throw at you.
We have a class-leading extended warranty on all Jags and Land Rovers and one of the greatest pre-owned inventories in the state of New Mexico.
Call 505-797-3600 to schedule a test drive.
Welcome to the place where we talk about people getting punched in the face. This is Cage Minds. I'm Micah Frankel. This past weekend, we had UFC 212 in Brazil. The changing of the guard happened. And to help me talk about it this week, we have from Latrell Yee MMA, Andreas the Bullet Quintana. Thank you for joining me this week, sir. How are you doing?
Of course, I'm doing great. Getting ready for my fight. Super excited.
And this past weekend, though, to touch on it, your weight class.
Yeah.
Holloway, it's what we expected that he'd be victorious. But I still didn't think he'd go in there for 2 rounds and let Aldo just kind of tee off on him, take his best shots, roll with the punches, and then decide in the 3rd round, he's looking tired. I'm going to turn it up and take over. And a lot of that, it seemed like, was the punches and the in-between moments where Aldo expected to escape into, a nice area or space where he wasn't getting punched. Holloway kept on Aldo with the pressure and with the combinations, and I think that's what eventually led to the stoppage. Is Aldo just didn't expect that second combination as soon as Holloway stepped back. What did you see?
No, I agree. Aldo's gas tank is suspect, so I mean that's something you exploit. You've seen it time and time again. Ever since he's came into the UFC, all of his 5 rounds fights, he gasses towards the end. 4th, 5th rounds are really tough for him. So I think Holloway, knew Aldo would come out strong. I'm surprised Aldo didn't kick more, attack the legs more, how I think he should have. And Aldo just weathered the storm, and he picked it up 3rd round, and he was able to get that stoppage.
We all expected. I think the Aldo camp had even said the leg kicks would be an extensive part of the game plan. Never went to that well, though. Never used that tool. That was quite, head-scratching on its own. A big win, though, the changing of the guard. This is your division. Do you see any weaknesses? How would you attack a fight with Max Holloway right now, seeing where his game is at?
Well, Max Holloway, he's pretty tough, so I feel like we'd attack his wrestling. We haven't seen too much of his wrestling, so you know, we test untested waters. You know, we go in there, we fake and feint, we mix up our shots, and then whenever he thinks our shots are coming, then we come up up top to the head. So I feel like that's what would be our game plan if I had him in front of me.
Right now, and I believe that's going to be the game plan for possibly both of his challengers coming up. You got Cub Swanson, you got Frankie Edgar, the two guys that are kind of bickering right now, trying to play that game to see who can verbally get ahead of each other in the UFC's eyes and get that #1 contendership. And Edgar, with that mix of wrestling, you wonder about styles make fights, if that could be the bad stylistic matchup for Holloway, right?
Yeah, I agree. Frankie, he's an amazing wrestler. He always pulls out different tricks. He's always mixing it up. So I give Frankie the edge against Holloway. Even though everyone doubts Holloway, don't get me wrong, he's a fantastic fighter, but you know, Frankie's a different animal and he's super tough. Look at Yair when he fought Yair. You know, everyone's oh, Yair's an amazing striker. Frankie just took him down and ground and pound. So we'll see how Holloway's tested then. And Cub, I think Cub will fight Aldo next, honestly. I think that's what the UFC will set up. It's been a while, and I'm sure Cub would want to get that one back.
Both interesting prospects. We'll see. It's a brand new era. What is the blessed era? I mean, you can't help but like Max Holloway at least. You can't personally dislike the guy because he's just so happy. Also this week in the co-main event, a member of the team that you're part of,
yes, sir.
Claudia Gadelha, got a big win. We all expected the win. I gotta be honest again, didn't expect it to happen as quickly as it did though. Just ran through Carolina as soon as they got to the ground, pounded her a little bit, softened her up, got the rear naked choke instantly when she had the back. If there's ever a case to see a third matchup between two fighters when one fighter's already up, you know, 2-0 in the series, we need to see Claudia Joanna 3. We've seen now that Claudia has made big leaps and bounds since moving here or starting to train down here now, saying she's moving here. What did you see?
I trained with her this whole camp, so we went over almost the whole fight game plan, from the clinch to shutting down her right side because Carolina likes to throw right knees, right elbows. So we shut that side down and we attacked with our own elbow. Obviously, you saw in the clinch. And as we had the body lock, she was able to get a pretty easy dump, and she went to her back, and we went over the exact same setup. We would hide the knife blade so they can't peel it, and then it slipped right into the rear naked choke. And as I called it, everyone's saying, "Oh, she's got a super tough fight." I was like, "Yeah, the girl's tough, but Claudia's gonna pick her apart. I can guarantee it." You know, just what I've seen her doing in sparring at Jackson's and in our gym. You know, 90% of the time, she's destroying everyone.
Not much more dominant of a statement you can make when Carolina goes 5 hard rounds with Joanna and then Claudia just smokes her. A dominant performance. Well, we also brought Andreas on to talk about you, what's been going on with you. We know we've seen you before on The Ultimate Fighter.
Yep.
It's led to Combate now. 1 win in that promotion in 1 appearance. Looking for your 2nd one at the end of the month. So how are you feeling right now about your career? 11-2, still a prospect on the rise.
I feel really good. You know, I'm here. I love the sport, and I'm here to make money. You know, I come in, I put in all this hard work, and I've been fighting since I was 12 years old. You know, so it's time for it to pay off. I'm coming in. I put on big shows. I have 9 out of 11 knockouts. You know, I'm an explosive fighter, and everyone comes to see me. You know, I have the best record on this card. So. You know, I'm going to be in everyone's faces, and my name's going to be around, you know, the national scene once this fight's over with.
The most knockouts of anybody on the card, the most victories of anybody on the card. In order of the lineup, you're the co-main event, but does it feel like it's your show, that you're the main event because of even the wins that you've had previously?
I am the main event because everyone that tunes into Azteca, they're going to be watching me. Then they're not going to be watching everyone else. I understand Kazu's my buddy, and I have nothing against him, but he's from Mexico City, so of course they're going to put him in the main event, and he's going to be selling the most tickets there. But nationwide, TV-wise, everyone's going to be watching me.
Where does it stack up in your career, getting this international exposure, going down to a place like Mexico City now, broadening your horizons outside of the U.S.?
It's great. It's high up there on my career, just because, you know, I'm here to get paid, and I'm getting paid now. Yeah.
Now, what you see in the division, what you see out of guys like There's you with your record, and you're looking at other guys around that have that record, looking at Doho, Choi, Mirsad Bektic, these guys in the UFC. What does that do to motivate you to see that that level, it's right around the corner?
You know, I feel like I'm right there. It's just basically who you know. I'm getting there. UFC knows who I am. Whether I sign with them or not, it's gonna come down to who's paying me. Yeah.
Levi Sowell, I believe, is the opponent for this one. What do you think about his game?
He's a tough kid. You know, he likes to throw spinning stuff, so we just got to watch out for that. He's a lot shorter than me. I do very well against fighting shorter fighters. So, you know, stay long, stick and move. Eventually he's going to shoot, and we got some tricks for that.
Eventually he will shoot. Most of your opponents do that. We've seen you answer with knees, with elbows. You're striking. One thing, though, about you I've seen that's changed over the years is we've seen you actually getting smaller. You seem to walk around closer and closer to your fight weight and be more lean. Has that been by design or something that's just kind of happened?
Kind of more by design. One of my fights, I think for Tachi, I had a really, really bad weight cut. You know, I felt like I almost didn't make it. So, you know, I had to ask for like an extra hour, I believe, to actually make the weight. So. And I felt really drained, so I kind of tried to slim down a little bit more. I don't think I'll be going up to 55 anytime soon, so I'd like to stay 45s and just stay at my weight. I mean, if I need to go up to 55s, I will. You know, if the fight's right, the time's right, I got enough time, we'll do it.
Is there a different feeling in practice from your body now being closer to your performance weight? You know, how you feel in the gym to fight night? To before where you would have the weight cut, would you feel different on fight night than you did in the gym?
Yeah, I feel a little bit lighter, more speed, power's still there, I'm still explosive. Yeah, it's a great change. You know, I've been following paleo, so it's been keeping the weight off of me. I feel really good. No bread, no wheat, no gluten.
Has that been different for you? No.
Yeah, I love bread, so it's a little bit an adjustment, but you know, I'm a professional athlete and I'm gonna do what it takes.
Second fight in Combate, that first one, a dynamic striking performance by you. How good did that performance feel coming off of what was a quick stoppage loss at Tachi?
It felt really good. I felt like I needed to go out there, prove where I belong, and you know, I fought a teammate of his, so they knew what was coming. You know, I go out there and I always give it my all. Of course, I was looking for a stoppage, just trying to get that bonus, but it didn't come. But next time.
Once upon a time, we had a promotion here in Albuquerque, AAA MMA. You were the only title holder for that promotion. Where do you have that belt?
It's in my closet somewhere, you know. All I care about, it's the money, like I said. We're here to get paid.
So, does a Combate belt stack up anywhere in your goals, or do you see it as a goal to more money and possibly that notoriety to get one of those bigger promotions to notice you?
Again, like I've said, yeah, of course, I'm going to be the champion. In my eyes, I am the champion. I beat their best guy, so there's no denying it. I beat their top prospect. My first match in, I beat him in his hometown. You know, so who else is there? There's no one else. I'm the champion of that company in my eyes, and in everyone else's eyes. I'm the uncrowned king.
We've seen Conor McGregor with his way of selling fights. We've seen Max Holloway take a different route. We're seeing TJ Dillashaw, Demetrius Johnson, there's names, and things are coming up about buy rates and butts in seats. That's what matters. Everybody out there wants to get paid. What do you have to do on that side to sell fights, to make you that brand, to make you that entity that makes you wanted by these promotions?
You either go in there and you're either the nice guy, the super good guy, you know, or you're the bad guy, you know. It's depending on the fighter, you know. You see a lot of these fighters on TV, and that's not how they really are. You know, they put on a front. You know, you go in there and you got to go and make your choice. You good guy or bad guy, if you want them to sell.
Does it make a difference who the opponent is if somebody says something to you? Can beef and, you know, a personal, like a social media rivalry, somebody says something on Twitter, can that add to also that intensity in the lead up for the fight?
Yeah, I think so. It helps greatly. You know, Muhammad Ali, for example, he never meant anything he said. He'd say it to sell fights. You know, he wants to get paid, so he'd sell the fights.
How do you get this win? What are some key factors come the 30th in Mexico City for you to get your hand raised again?
I go in there, I punch him in the face, and then he falls. You know, I know he's going to shoot, so we'll be ready.
And now for everybody that's watching, how can they follow you on social media and keep up with you?
Just search me on Twitter, The Bullet MMA, and Andres Quintana MMA on everything else. Instagram, Facebook, I'm everywhere.
And then Combate formerly was on UFC Fight Pass. Now it's strictly Azteca. If you have that channel to be able to tune in June 30th and check out the fight. Keep up with CageMinds.com. You guys already know that. And there'll be more Red Menace TV with Leroy and Michael in just a moment.
Gecko's Bar and Tapas, a proud supporter of Proview Networks. It's been a fan favorite spot for food lovers and sports fans. With not one, but two great locations, including outdoor patio, an atmosphere you won't want to miss. Gecko's, off Academy and in Nob Hill.
For 55 years, people have bought trucks from Tillery in Los Lunas. We have a great selection of vehicles, the quality service department, and some of the best deals in the state. But most importantly, we found people prefer to buy trucks from people who actually drive trucks.
Tillery is a proud supporter of Proview Sports Network. Locally owned and operated, located in Los Lunas, right off I-25, exit 203.
Visit the Frontier Restaurant. Due to heavy construction on Central, take lead or coal coming north or south. The Frontier Restaurant. Get your Frontier fix on.
Sure, you could get him a new car. You could also light a pile of money on fire. So maintaining this old car is your best option. Keep it running longer, stronger, with quality parts and a whole lot of Napa know-how.
I am never getting married. Never. Guaranteed.
You picked a beautiful ring.
Thank you. We're never having kids.
I love it here.
We are never moving to the suburbs. We are never getting one of those. We're never having another kid.
I'm pregnant.
I'm never letting go.
For all the nevers in life, talk to State Farm agent.
Folks, there's no other way but to be all in. Either he's Lord of all or he is not Lord at all. And you can experience the real and authentic, true life change that only God can provide to humanity. See, when we truly encounter Jesus and purpose to know him and follow his teachings, hashtag life change will occur.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
The Barley Room, proud sponsor of Proview Networks for over 9 years, is pleased to introduce Black Iron Catering. From weddings and family reunions to birthdays and office parties, Black Iron Catering is perfect for any event. Contact Jamie at 505-459-8259 and book your event today. Black Iron Catering. Let us bring our kitchen to you.
Garden Sort's Team Sales is a proud supporter of Proview Sports Network.
Get into the game. Garden Schwartz Team Sales features fine products and apparel from Wilson, Schutz Sports, Speedline, and Russell Athletics. We offer custom embroidery and screen printing services for all of your school or club needs, from team uniforms to school letter jackets. Specializing in all sports and serving all communities, from big schools to small schools, from up north to down south, or all points in between. Garden Schwartz Team Sales. For great prices, friendly staff, and quality products, call Garden Schwartz Team Sales today at 1-800-880-7767. That's 1-800-880-7767. Since 1939, Garden Schwartz Team Sales is a proud supporter of New Mexico youth athletics.
Hey, welcome back to Red Menace TV here on Proview Networks. Leroy Lucero, Michael Carlisle. First time we haven't had a guest in a while, Michael.
Yeah.
I guess everyone's, you know, there's so many athletic AD, what would you call them, potentials?
Did we have a guest last week?
Did we have a guest last week?
I don't think so.
Yeah, we did. We had Brian Despain.
Oh, no, we had Rudy C last week.
We had
That's
Rudy
right,
C
that's
last
right,
week.
that's right,
Yeah.
that's right.
Oh
I
my
forgot.
goodness. Come on now.
How could I forget
Of course,
Rudy?
he's kind of like not a guest. He's kind of like old school co-host. So I guess we could probably say that.
Yeah, it hadn't been that long ago he got replaced on the intro.
Yeah, yeah, right.
I just assumed he was always a part of the show.
Well, he was on there last week, 2 weeks ago, so what the heck. Hey, no, so we talked a little bit about it. We kind of teased it a little bit. Not that we had to tease anything in New Mexico, as everyone's heard it. Paul Krebs resigned last Friday.
He retired.
Retired.
He did not resign.
He did not resign. He retired.
Yeah.
You had him on the show that day.
Yes, that afternoon.
And he was also on the morning show on 610 The Sports Animal as well.
He made the rounds.
He did make the rounds, as I understand it. Adamant that he was very adamant that what's currently going on had nothing to do with his decision to leave.
He was, but if you read between the lines, he kind of acknowledged it did, and I'll explain. Yeah, he was steadfast. Nope, these investigations. He was also steadfast, not an investigation, it's an audit. Well, maybe what the state auditor's doing is an audit, but I don't think Hector Balderas is doing an audit per se. I believe you could classify his as an investigation. Regardless, was very adamant. None of that had anything to do. He just, this was the time. He had been talking about retirement for a while. I will say there is some truth to that.
No, there is.
There have been whispers for a while that Paul was looking to retire at some point.
Well, we had talked about this, you and I think, on radio a couple of years ago when his contract came up last time. That I think there was talk then that he might just, ride off into the sunset at that point, long before all of this, whatever happened. But I guess he decided to sign the contract. He came back. I bet you, hindsight being 2020, probably wishes that he would have probably just signed the contract or not signed the contract and went on his merry way.
Maybe, but very adamant that the audits, none of that stuff had anything to do with it. But he also acknowledged he didn't want to become a distraction to the university. Yeah. That tells me they played at least some role.
Well, they had to play a role.
Sure,
I mean, let's be honest. I mean, we had him in here 2 weeks before the resignation, 3 weeks before the resignation, and I asked him that very question. Do you know how much longer you want to do this? He didn't really give us any kind of a time frame. I don't think at that time he's saying, I'm thinking in 3 weeks I'll probably just call it a career. I think at that point everything was going to be running smoothly and probably ride out the contract. What was left, I think there'd be a year and a half left.
Personally, I think originally he was going to write out the contract, and that's just my opinion.
Yeah.
Because keep in mind, he accepted the position on the selection committee for the basketball.
Absolutely.
Tournament. I guess it's possible you do that knowing you're going to retire in a year, and you just wanted the experience of doing it for a year. But that kind of tells me, in a perfect world, he would have stuck around for a while.
Yeah, I think he would have stuck because he did enjoy it. He did talk about enjoying it, and of course that's lost now. However, I thought, yeah, it had to be 99. I would say 90% of that, and part is like, you know what, just throw your hands up and throw your hands in the air and just move along because you just don't care.
Maybe.
I mean, that's the way I look at it. So. He resigns under you said Balderas?
He retired. He retired.
Retired. Okay, retired. I guess there's a difference.
The other yes, there is.
There is a difference.
There is a difference.
Of course, last night, and of course, like anything else, there's a little dog, there's a little dog in someone's bone. That's a Trujilloism, is it not?
I think so.
Yeah, everyone's got a little bone in the dog's mouth. There was a report last night that made it seem like Krebs is walking away with $1 million parachute.
Well,
which is not the case.
He is walking away. No. He's walking away with $1 million.
Yes, he is.
Part of that is money he had set aside for retirement, though. A good chunk of that.
Right, and like a 401k or a retirement plan that many organizations. I mean, when I walked away from my organization this last year, I have my 401k money that I set aside. They match it. You know how 401k works. Anyway, this is the way it was. He set aside stuff for his retirement plan. Of course, look, I'm going to blast the media. I kind of feel like Sean Spicer or something right now. Of course, the media doesn't present it that way. They mention it, but they present it in a way that just makes it seem like he's getting $1 million golden parachute for retiring, which is not the case.
You see those cameras?
I do. I see them.
You see
I do. I even have a microphone right here.
Do you know what that makes you?
Yeah, I know. Pseudo media.
Say it.
Pseudo media.
No. Say it.
I know. But I can blast my own people. Then I can get on my own people, right?
Don't call me your people.
You don't want to be my people. He wants to be totally divorced of the whole situation. I get it. No, I'm just saying, and I saw it on Twitter today that, it's like, oh, look, $1 million parting gift. It's like, no, you kind of earned that. You earn your own retirement, and that's kind of the way it works. So anyway, moving into the future. Let's look into the future.
Hang on a second. And I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying you're wrong, but let's look back at these last, month, 6 weeks now.
Sure, let's do it.
Allegations of misuse of public money, multiple investigations, audits.
Yes.
Scope of audit expanding. Athletic director retiring. The day after it's announced that the scope of the investigation is widening.
Right.
And you're concerned about how his golden parachute is portrayed? That's what's getting you fired up?
Yeah, I get fired up about weird things. I honestly don't think that there's anything that's going to be a big deal about this, and when it's all said and done.
Oh, you couldn't. See, I totally disagree with that.
I know you do.
No, I'm not necessarily saying there's anything criminal, but you can't misuse public funds.
No, look, I'm not going to disagree with you on that. That was an error or a mistake or whatever you want to say.
And I believe the investigation will bear this out. I believe they knew full well what they were doing when they paid for the trip to Scotland.
Okay.
For Krebs, Cole, and Craig Neal with the public money.
Yes.
You can't do that.
Okay.
Paul Krebs has been fundraising here for 11 years. He knows what you can and can't use public money for.
So I think investigation is going to bear out that happens quite a bit, not just in athletics. It's going to happen in all parts. And I think I said this on Mondays.
Just as wrong, dude.
I'm not saying what's right.
Quite a bit
I'm not saying what's wrong. I'm
It's
just
still
saying I don't know necessarily that you can. The way I understand it, and I'm not trying to pretend like I know this or don't know this. I believe everything goes into one fund and you draw out of that fund. Is that not the way?
No.
That's not the way Rudy explained it the other day?
No, that's not the way it goes. That money has
Lobo
to come.
Club money does not go into the same fund?
That money needed to come from the UNM Foundation. It did not. That's a problem.
Okay.
Now,
so
is it criminal? It might not be.
It may not be.
Right.
But it does look bad. And
Sure. It's a bad look.
Then it would be against the rules of UNM, not as opposed to the rules of the law. The law. A little warm. You got me on the hot seat here, Michael,
I know.
and I don't even know how to defend myself. We should have had Rudy this week because he's a lawyer.
Sure.
He could have defended me and gone all after you.
I'm not prosecuting you.
I'm beginning to feel like Comey here on the stand here. I'm a little nervous. A little political humor there. Anyway, yeah, okay, I give you that was wrong.
If it wasn't a big deal, Krebs doesn't retire last Friday. Now again, that doesn't mean it's criminal.
Right.
Nobody's going like that.
Nobody's going to jail.
Right.
But it was the wrong thing to do.
But you can't just brush it away and say, oh, it's no big deal, because it is a big deal. Otherwise, you don't have two different state government offices investigating. You don't have the AD retiring, even though it had nothing to do with it. And you don't have all this going on.
Did you roll your eyes right there?
I did. Yeah.
Okay.
So you can't say it's not a big deal. Now, is it criminal? Maybe not.
Okay.
But it's a big deal.
It's a big deal, just not criminal. All right. I can handle that. Some people think it's a bigger deal than it possibly could be.
Well, the investigations will bear that out, right?
I would think so. We'll come back. We're going to mention Rusty. We should talk about Rusty. He has his own show. It's going strong. He still doesn't want to leave us alone, so we get a little Rusty segment. Also want to talk a little bit about the future of UNM. What do you think the future holds? We know Janice Ruggiero was named interim AD. Let's see what your thoughts are on who might be.
Do we have to talk about
future?
Rusty?
We don't have to talk about Rusty. He'll talk about himself.
So basically what you're telling me is we're going from one clown show to the next.
Pretty much. We'll be back right after this.
Hoops New Mexico Basketball Courts is coming to Albuquerque soon. 10 full basketball courts and a whole lot more. For more information, contact Dan Serrano at hoopsnm@aybl.com.
Don't forget, every Proview Network sporting event is on sale at our DVD store. Go to www.proviewNetworks.com to buy your DVD today.
Rusty the Sports Clown. I'm here for the Rusty the Sports Clown Show. What a great name. I love that name. All right, lots to talk about this week. We have another great photo from Miss Kelly Schroeder. Bam! And this one is going to be a collector's item. How many of you can see why? It says Wise Pies. Yeah, that's going to be a collector's item for anybody that's a Wise Pies fan. All right, we're going to have some more about photos from Kelly in just a bit. But first, it's time for a sports break, because you can see the time. It says sports break time right there. So, hey, sports break, how you doing? All right, how many of you can tell me what the most important news of the week was? Anybody? Anybody? All right. Well, locally, we're going to split it up locally, nationally. Locally, we have to go with Paul Krebs retiring. His last day is June 30th. Now, he said he was planning on retiring, and he even told the Regents like 9 months ago that he wanted to retire this summer. But when you wait until all your finances are under investigation because of some dopey golf trip that you took that could result in your firing, well, I don't know. That just seems like something a guilty person would do. Anyway, moving on. National news. Big news nationally. Tell me who? Yep, here it is. Tiger Woods DUI. All right, he was found asleep at the wheel of his car at 3 a.m. Well, duh, it was 3 a.m. I'm asleep at 3 a.m. too. Okay, the problem was that he was in his car and the car was still running. Now, I'm thinking he was doing that just because he needs the air conditioner on to sleep. Maybe the air conditioner in his house was broken. That's what I'm guessing. But anyway, they woke him up. Knock, knock, knock. Mr. Woods, can you wake up for us? So he did. And he looked like he just woke up. Yeah, pretty crazy. All right, so they made him walk a straight line, and it wasn't very straight. He kind of failed that one. Then they asked him, they said, Mr. Woods, would you please recite the alphabet for us? Okay, that's all they said. They didn't say backwards. They didn't say forwards. They just said recite the alphabet. So I don't know where he came up with this, but he said, oh, first they asked, Mr. Woods, do you understand what we're saying? And he said, you want me to recite the national anthem backwards? I wanted to hear that. Wouldn't that be so cool? They didn't let him do it. So he did the ABCs. He sort of did okay. But here's what he said. It was not alcohol. Test proved it was 0% alcohol in his system. It was a bad reaction to prescription medication. That's what he even said. Now, a lawyer, yeah, I'm not crazy about lawyers. He said, I could have gotten him off if he hadn't admitted to taking prescription drugs. Dopey guys. All right, NFL news. We're moving right along. All right, players are trying a new helmet. It's called the Vicus, Vicus 01. See my helmet? This is not one of those. This one is better because see, you can do this, you can do that. Oh, Sticky, you fell. Oh, how sad. So anyway, here's what's going on. Okay, this helmet, they tested it up in Canada against 32 other helmets. So there were 33 total. That's like, a whole bunch. And this one came out the best. Now this one tests for concussion and hits and stuff, and it protects against hits from the side, hits from the front. And it said rotational hits, which I'm not quite sure what that is. I guess you have to be spinning around when you get hit or something like that. Protects against that too. Well, they sent these helmets to a couple college teams last year, and they got sent back because the college team said they're very uncomfortable. Well, these helmets, guess what? They cost $1,500 each. I know, that's pretty expensive. I can't imagine seeing many college teams or high school teams ever wearing these. Currently, they're only available for the NFL and college. And right now, the NFL is experimenting. They're trying them in all their training camps. Okay, moving right along. We have, up in Seattle, Coach Pete Carroll. He gave Colin Kaepernick this really cool tryout, okay? He said, Colin Kaepernick should be a starter in the NFL. Just not with us. So if he's that good, why didn't he keep him? Yeah, we don't know. Cowboys. This is like deja vu of last year. How many of you remember last year when they had like 4 players on the defense that were all suspended for the first 3, 4, 5 games, however many? Well, we're doing it again. Okay, we're going to start with defensive tackle David Irving. He's suspended for 4 games because of substance abuse. Cornerback Nolan Carroll, he's suspended 2 games. Now, this is kind of sad and kind of dopey. His reason for being suspended, he got a DUI after a welcome to Dallas party in his honor. Who does that? So, welcome to Dallas. Yeah, you're arrested. Okay, makes you not sure you want to go to Dallas. Okay. Under 20 soccer. How many of you have been keeping up with that? Sadness. USA was defeated in extra time. That's like after overtime and regular time, they have extra time because it's not part of the regular time. Okay, they got defeated by Venezuela in the quarterfinals. Here's what happened. Venezuela, bam, they're attacking, very aggressive, boom, miss shot, header, miss shot, header, miss shot. I know, all these things. And USA is just kind of doing nothing until the last 3 minutes of the game in regular time. Then the USA decided, hey, we should start playing because we're still in this. It's still nothing. So they go down, they take shot, miss, take another shot, miss, take another shot. They miss again. It was sadness. Okay, went to extra time. Venezuela scores. Here's what happened. They go right down there. Boom. Goal! Do we need more? A little less? Goal! Okay, we're done. Okay, so then the USA scored. Then, bam! Venezuela again. Goal! We got beat 2-1. It was horrible. Hey, if you want to see the rest of the sports break, check me out tomorrow night. Okay, I'm going to be on right before the Steve Davis Show. It's going to be really cool. 7 o'clock. It's going to be great. All right, I welcome you to follow me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, follow me to a Lobos game because I like being followed. I'm very famous. All right, here's what you got to do. If there's an event, a game, a meet, a match, tiddlywinks, whatever, just go. Bye.
Did I just see Paul Krebs next to Mr. Met?
Yeah.
I guess they both had bad weeks, didn't they?
So help me out here.
Yeah.
Rusty has his own show now, right?
Yes, he does.
On this very channel, right?
Yes, he does.
Right here on Proview.
Yes.
Why is he still on our show?
Well, why not? He doesn't want to leave us. He doesn't want to forget where he started.
When do we get our segment on the Rusty the Clown show?
Would you paint your face?
No.
Oh. You mean like normal people on Rusty's show? I know.
Like how we have a clown on this show?
Yeah, we could have normal people on the clown show.
I mean, I'm just saying.
That's an interesting concept. I'll run that by him. Maybe I'll tweet him and say, how come you don't have normal people on your show as opposed to a clown? Since we have a clown on a normal show.
What does he do on his show? I haven't seen it yet.
He's a clown. What do clowns do? They clown
he juggles?
He makes animals and
pulls handkerchiefs out of his mouth? Squirts you with his flour?
BS out of his mouth.
Yeah, I mean, no, seriously. Does he interview people? Is he behind a desk?
You'll have to watch his show. It's on YouTube.
Is it Clown Life? It's on this network.
Well, it's on this network, but it's also on YouTube as part of the network. Proview has a YouTube network. Our show goes on there.
Oh no,
we tweet it.
I'm well aware. But why send people to the YouTube? But you can send them.
Well, you can do both. Send
26.
them here. Send them Channel 26. If you live out of state, you can watch it on YouTube.
If you live out of state and don't already know that, you didn't just inform you.
Oh, okay. That's true. I didn't even think about it that way. Hey, anyways, I want to go back real quick because we only have a few minutes left in the show. I wanted to talk about the AD search, of course. I know I'm pronouncing, I'm going to blow his name. President Chaki Abdallah, or what is he now? He's not part-time president. He's not interim.
He's interim.
He is in. Is that
he was originally acting president? Now he's interim.
Okay,
president.
so he's not acting anymore now.
No, he's interim.
Okay, Chaki Abdallah, is that pronounced correctly?
Sure.
Excuse me. Mentioned that he was going to hire a search committee.
Correct.
Outside search.
Well, no, right. They're hiring an outside search firm.
Search firm. Thank you. That's better. Not a search committee. It's kind of weird because we're talking ADs, and it's just like when a basketball coach is hired or a football coach, you're like, okay, well, let's go look and see what the coaches are available and who's good. I mean, you don't do that with an AD search, do you? I mean, normal fans, as a fan.
Oh, as fans?
Yeah,
no.
I mean, you don't really think. It's like, wow, they're really doing a good job there at Texas State. We should really rip their AD. I mean, what is the criteria for a fan to look for a good AD?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's. I was just thinking about that the other day because names have been mentioned. I mean, your very own Jeff Sibieta from 610 The Sports Animal Morning Show.
Honestly, I haven't heard anybody but Jeff mention his name.
No, it was in the paper.
Was it?
And it was on news too. It was Van Tate, I think, mentioned it too.
I bet Jeff told him.
Yeah, okay, maybe. Okay, so Jeff Sibieta, I've heard Ray Birmingham's name kicked around. Interim AD now. I know they got rid of the vice president now. She's interim AD, correct? Or is she interim vice president?
I think interim, it doesn't matter.
Interim, it doesn't matter position. I've seen her name thrown around. Mario Mocha from New Mexico State. That name's out there. Ray Manzarek was thrown out, though I think you could throw his. Why would you not make him interim if you had, why would you hire him full time?
The keyboard player from the Doors?
What's his name? Manzanares. Thank you. I mispronounced it. I think
thought you said Ray Manzarek. Yeah, I believe he's dead. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so that would probably be a bad choice.
At least he wouldn't misuse public funds, allegedly.
And then, of course, my favorite, the one and only. He was a football coach here, assistant football coach and a quarterback here, Rocky Long. That's a guy I would like for the job.
Sure.
Though, would a search firm, would they go in and introduce, would he want the job? I think he does. Rumor has it, the scuttle. Sources. My sources say that Rocky wants the job.
I think the timing is not going to work out for Rocky.
What do you mean by that?
We're early to mid-June right now, right?
That's true. Football season starts in July.
Best case scenario, 1st of July, you have the search firm in place, right? That's what the plan is.
Yeah.
A month. The holiday. So you figure second week, maybe even third week of July before you get going. Well, football's about to start. Well, what's Rocky Long's current position at San Diego State?
Yeah, he's a head football coach.
So I don't know that the time frame works out.
So I'm hearing 6 months to hire an AD.
No.
You don't think so?
No, not at all.
Do you have sources contradicting my sources?
That time frame just doesn't play out.
Okay.
You're hiring the search firm. You get it done. The problem here, and I do believe it's going to affect people who are interested in the job, is you have an interim president in place,
right?
Who's hiring the AD. The reason that's a problem, to equate it to pro sports, that's like hiring the head coach and then hiring a GM.
Oh yeah.
If the GM doesn't like the head coach isn't long for the job, right?
Dead man walking.
So they're hiring the AD, and to be fair, they probably have to. This isn't the ideal situation, but I think they're doing what they have to do. But then you bring in a president at some point. If the president wants his own person in at AD, or they butt heads, the AD's not long for the job. You're going to have a hard time getting someone to leave their current job to be an AD, knowing that they may butt heads with whoever the president is.
And not only that, now you also have the legitimate golden parachute situation where you're going to have to pay somebody to be fired. We only have 1 minute left. Can you believe it?
Don't you always pay somebody to be fired? Aren't we paid
Well,
to
but
do
I'm
this
talking
to be
about
fired?
we could have them for like a year and then they're canned.
Yeah.
We don't want that. That would be, there we go, misappropriation of whatever funds. It might be criminal. A smooth criminal.
Not only is it not criminal, it's not misappropriation of funds. So.
It's okay.
You should maybe do some research. Google could be your friend.
That. I don't want to go. I go to the only guy that is Google, and that's JJ Buck on your station. He is Google. Anyways, with that being said, everyone gets a mention on this show, I guess.
I guess. Throw Trujillo's name out there.
I did. I did a Trujilloism. Remember, I said he had the
throw
bone
his name
as
out in a positive way.
I don't know if that's possible. All right, for Micah Frankel and for Leroy Lucero, but also for Michael Carlisle, I am Leroy Lucero. We'll see you next week. Until then, God bless you all.
Hoops New Mexico Basketball Courts is coming to Albuquerque soon. 10 full basketball courts and a whole lot more. For more information, contact Dan Serrano at hoopsnm@aybl.com.
Don't forget, every Proview Network sporting event is on sale at our DVD store. Go to www.proviewNetworks.com to buy your DVD today. Terry Cosper Insurance Agency is a proud partner with Proview Networks and a proud supporter of New Mexico high school athletics. Terry's been a local farmer's agent for over 20 years for auto, home, life, and